Well, greetings and salutations, everybody, and welcome to VHS Movie Talk. Movie Talk for you, the movie fan. I'm Dom Chayetta, where I bring you all the latest news in the world of movies, plus some insight into what it all means. On today's show, we have returning Chris Parker. How are you, Chris? Patterson. Oh my God, why did I
Oh
say
yeah.
Parker? Why did I say Parker?
Yeah,
Patterson,
it's
Chris
all good.
Patterson. What's going on, man? How you doing?
Hey, nothing much, man. Just maintaining out here in the Midwest.
I hear
So
that.
getting a little cold. It's starting to
Yeah,
get cold.
yeah. Joining us today for the first time on VHS Movie Talk, and hopefully a returning cast member, we have my good friend Dakota Lara. How are you doing, friend?
I am doing good.
Good. Dakota, you're new to the show. What brings you on the show, man?
I'm gonna say once again the free food. I was promised free food. Still haven't gotten it yet. Still
Good.
waiting.
Yep. So for
Still
those of
waiting.
you for those of you tuning in, a couple of housekeeping things before we get started and we talk about our wonderful topics that we have. As you can see, I'm not in my normal background, and that's okay. Long story short, life happens. I had to move back home. There's no shame in that. So I'm currently living here in my little apartment, basement thing, whichever you want to call it. That's where I'm at. And this studio behind me will be soon built up and it'll look glorified. Other things, typically I have things that pop up on the screen when we do the show, um, and different overlays, and I don't have any of that stuff right now. I'm very limited to what I can do with my setup at this time because, well, I haven't really set everything up, and that's fine. So we'll get into that as well. So for those of you tuning in for the first time, welcome. Go ahead, comment below, join in the chat with us. Let us know how you feel about these topics. Also, please go ahead and subscribe if you're not already. I'm trying to hit at least 200 subscribers by the end of December, and we can only get there with your help. All right, guys. So the list of topics that we're going to talk about, I'm going to review Wicked. I saw the movie today. Topic number 2 we're going to go down is How to Train Your Dragon live action movie. We're going to talk about the trailer. Another trailer we're going to talk about is Minecraft movie starring Jack Black and Jason Momoa has dropped a full length trailer. We're going to give our thoughts about that. And then, of course, Wicked dominates Gladiator 2 at the box office, which is, we thought it was going to be a Barbenheimer situation, but it doesn't seem like that's turning out that way. So with all that said and done, let's go ahead and get into it. All right, guys. So, like I said, I saw Wicked. The play came out in, when was the Broadway musical? I think it was 2003 was there, or 2003 or 2005 was the original Broadway production. Fact trackers, please let me know if that is correct or not. And it starred India Menzel. Hopefully, I said her name correctly. And what was that blonde, ditzy blonde? I'm drawing a blank on her name. Good Lord. Anyway, but they were in the original production. And when this movie was announced in 2012, I was petrified. I was terrified that.
It's me. I'm here.
Oh,
I'm working.
wow. That's awesome. That worked.
I'm working.
Yes. That really threw me off. But
I'm here. I work.
oh, that's awesome. Welcome.
That is
Anyways,
cool.
I think the actress you were thinking of, Kristen Chenoweth.
Kristen
That's her
Chenoweth.
name.
Yes. They were the original Alphabel and Galinda in the original Broadway play. And I was really hoping they were going to reprise these roles. When the show was announced, the movie was announced in when the movie was announced in 2012. Yeah. But anyway, so the movie is fantastic. I saw it yesterday between the sets, the music, the coloring it's very Broadway. It brings Broadway to the screen, which I'm very thankful about that. Like I was telling you gentlemen before, it's been a long time since I felt Broadway in theaters, right? So we had Steven Spielberg's West Side Story. We had The Greatest Showman in the past 20 years. We've had a version of Hamilton, which I'm not really a big fan of. What else have we had? We had Into the Heights. Nothing has really given me that gravitas, that Broadway feel. This, man, it's pretty well. It's well done. You also have what's his name, Jeff Goldblum. Didn't know he could sing. That was very interesting seeing him sing. Of course, this is a part 2, which I'm glad this movie is not marketing itself as a part 1 and part 2. We all know that typically when movies market themselves as a part 1 and part 2, the first part of the film really doesn't do that well, because everybody goes, I'm just going to wait for part 2 to come out, and then I'll sit home and I'll watch it, or I'll stream it, and so on and so forth. But it was really well done. Now, this movie, I'm a musical theater nerd, and I wish I could say this movie really isn't marketed towards myself, but guys, it's definitely worth checking out. There's cameos in the movie. I'm sure you've already heard that it's hit the internet. They're all over the place. Defying Gravity is such an electrifying song, and the movie ends on such a high note. I really want to get into spoilers, but if you know the show, if you know the theatrical Broadway version of it, I mean, you definitely know where this is going to head into with part 2. Part 2 is very dark, and I'm glad that they made the movie into 2 separate parts. Because I don't think the audience would be able to handle the second half of the show, especially with where it leads off. I know it time jumps several times and things happen and things change, but it's great. Ariana Grande's character, her character arc as Galinda, is fantastic. Her humor is on point. They kind of, one thing I don't like that they did, they kind of gave her some sex appeal a little bit, and they kind of made Galinda a little sexy, which is a little weird.
Come on, man. It's Ariana Grande, though.
Yeah, but I mean,
come on. It's what?
I mean, that was kind of like a point in the show, was that she was desirable, she was attractive, everybody loved her, everybody wanted to be with her.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I don't know.
She's that girl.
Yeah. Cynthia Erivo. I said her name correctly. Cynthia Erivo. There it is.
There you go.
Finally said it correctly. Cynthia Erivo as Elphaba. I felt like when she was in the character, when she was, performing, she was fantastic. I was there along with her. But it seems like at times she was there and she wasn't. But when she was, she really excelled and was very, I don't know how to explain it. You just couldn't take your eyes off her. And the same thing with Ariana Grande. I thought Ariana Grande was going to be too poppy and too not show tuney, but she fucking killed it. She really did kill it.
I haven't seen the movie, obviously, but I mean, from interviews that I've seen of her, that was pretty much her goal as the character, was she wanted to get back to her musical theater roots and her acting roots more than anything.
Right.
It was kind of like there was one interview where she said it was kind of like it was just kind of like returning back to what she loved, and it's that part of herself that she hasn't really had an opportunity to do much with recently.
Right.
It wasn't,
yeah.
If it was Hot Pockets, I wouldn't be too disappointed. I'd hope it was a bit. I'd hope we have more budget than just Hot Pockets.
Yeah,
I'll take it.
Yeah. That was from the Zombie DNA. Posted that comment. Well, thank you.
I thought that was like an ad or something.
No, that was the comment. That was a live
hold on
comment.
now. We'll take the sponsorship.
Yeah,
Hot Pockets, if you would like to sponsor this show, you're more than
absolutely.
welcome to.
So Chris, this movie isn't really marketed towards you. It's
No.
mainly marketed towards myself and Dakota and our theater group of friends. What are your thoughts on this, man? Is this something that you're going to be checking out? Is this something that you are excited about seeing?
Excited, no, but willing to give a chance to yes.
Okay,
So this falls under the category of things that I will do with a woman that is not my idea.
sure.
So if the lady wants to watch it, cool. I mean, could be a really great experience on a flight. I do a lot of flying, so I love a good movie on a flight. So I mean, I would be willing to give it a chance, but not running to go see it. No.
Right.
I mean, I love The Land of Oz, and I saw the last movie they put out, which was The Great and Powerful Oz, and
Oh
I'll
God, the
check out
Sam
all that
Raimi movie.
stuff. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm interested. I'll check it out. In fact,
sure.
I was just in Chicago, and saw I was on the yellow brick road that inspired the one for the movie or the
Oh
book,
wow.
whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah, so like I'm interested in it. It's just musical format for a movie doesn't. I've seen a few and it just doesn't really work all that
sure.
great for me. So like I love The Color Purple, but I don't love the musical version as much.
Okay. Yep.
So
I respect that. Dakota, so same question goes for you that I asked Chris. Are you excited about this film? Are you looking to, race out to see it? I know that I spoke to you and some of our friends about it. And you got a little excited about it. Is this something that you don't care about seeing or really don't want to see? Let us know your thoughts.
Oh God, I haven't been to the movies in so long, but it is definitely a movie that I do want to see.
Okay.
I As you've already mentioned, I love musicals. I'm a musical theater person. I work in it. It's literally my job.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
um it seems really interesting to me. And honestly, I didn't even know that it was a two-parter movie
Yeah. Yeah. Uh,
myself. So that's quite interesting that they're like holding off.
yeah.
It's interesting because it was like you said, where they didn't advertise it, so it's kind of that thing where it's like, yeah, like people can't go, oh well, I'll just wait for the second part to come out. But
Yeah.
there might be a bit of like a thing where people are like, what? That's it? That's it?
Well, here's the thing, right? When the movie starts off, it says Wicked Part 1. And you're like, for an average movie going fan that doesn't know this is going to be uh, a two-parter, a three-parter, or three-parter, a two-parter, it's like, oh, okay, wow, that's interesting. Um, sorry, got some comments coming in here. We want Russell. I don't know who Russell is. Um, yeah, so it says part 1 in the beginning of the film, and then you're like, oh, okay. You go through the film, and then it brings you to the ending song. We all know what the midway part, right, is defining gravity. And in the Broadway show, that's where it breaks and then it goes into intermission. Um, this movie feels very um, fulfilling, right? Typically with a part 1 and part 2, it kind of, you get that Lord of the Rings ending, right? The Fellowship of the Ring, where it's you know, oh look, Mr. Frodo, there is Mordor or whatever it is, and then the movie just ends, and you're like, what? We spent this whole fucking time getting here to this moment, and we're ending. So when this movie ends, it feels like an ending. It's nicely wrapped with a bow, and it's polished, and you really get that excitement for part 2. The movie is 2 hours and 40 minutes, which is relatively close to what the Broadway show is. So they definitely beefed this up a little bit to get it to be that time. that runtime for part one. I was sitting there and I was like, I want to see part two now. I'm definitely in for part two. My appetite was very fulfilled. Um, and oh gosh, I was going to say one last thing. Um, I completely forgot what I was going to say, but it ends and it feels fulfilling that it end that it had an ending. It didn't feel like it just dropped off, which was nice about this. So, for those of you who are watching, how do you feel about Wicked? Are you excited to see Wicked this weekend? Are you waiting until after the rush of Wicked? Comment below and let us know. And yeah, we'll head on to topic number 2. What's up?
Wait. Oh, last thing about Wicked.
Sure.
I do think it's. I think it's foul that they're making people wait a whole year.
Do you really? Oh, I think it's
foul.
fantastic. I think it's fantastic.
I love that was supposed to happen with Spider-Man, where there was like, oh, the part 2 was in spring, and then part 3 is going to be in November. Then they moved it out. But like, if it's done, like give the people what they want. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like people, you delivered a great movie right here, following up with a summer blockbuster.
Well, okay, so let's touch base on. Let's talk about that, right? So, Horizon had a part 1, and then 4 months later, it had a part 2. The movie bombed. It bombed in theaters. Didn't do well at all because nobody cared. There was no appetite to see part 2 because part 1 was like, oh, why do I need to, rush out to see part 1 when part 2 comes out in 4 months? So I'll just wait for it to hit streaming and then I'll go see part 2 maybe. So, I mean, you want that, that appetite. Dakota, what are your thoughts on that?
I think ultimately it's better than the alternative where if, like, for example, we got like an Avatar situation where it's like,
yes,
here's part 1, and then okay, next movie in 5 years.
Yeah.
So 1 year's not too terrible. It gives enough time for the hype to not overstay its welcome. It gives it time to die down. Obviously, let other movies kind of come and go through the market, through the industry.
Right.
And then once it same time next year, they'll start the marketing again and the hype just kicks right back up, rather than something that kind of, if they just kind of perpetually kept it going and going and going.
Sure.
Like if they had the movie ready to go within a few months, I feel like the high from this first hype would carry over and it would kind of almost get too high.
Okay.
To where it might not meet expectations.
Sure.
But giving it a year, just kind of like, okay, like the movie's great. The hype for this first movie is great. It's going to die down. And then same time next year, that hype will kick back up again.
I just like the way The Matrix did it. But I know we're in a different world now. I get it. They're not doing the streaming and all that's a part of it. It wasn't a part of it back in 2003. I'm old. But
I was gonna say, and like nowadays, like attention span, like things come and go.
It's that TikTok
attention.
It's that TikTok mindset.
For sure.
All right. So for those of you who are watching, comment below and let us know. How do you feel about Wicked? Are you excited to see Wicked? Do you want to go see Wicked? Are you going to wait for it after 45 days for it to come out on Paramount Plus? What are your thoughts? Comment below. Join the conversation. Let us know. All right, guys. With that being said, let's head into our next topic, right? Everybody is super excited about this. How to Train Your Dragon live action. I, believe it or not, have never seen the animated film.
What?
Yeah, I've never seen the animated.
Kidding me?
No, sir. I've seen bits and pieces of the animated film. I've seen bits and pieces of the TV show that they had on Nickelodeon, but I've never really sat down and watched the whole thing. It seems like at this part right here, everybody is freaking out that it's a 1-for-1 of the animated movie. I guess that's Toothless and Hiccup right here.
Yes. Yeah.
This is, I have no idea the story behind this shot right here, why everyone is just going bananas. So I'm going to carry it over to you, Dakota, and give us your thoughts on the trailer.
Definitely came out of nowhere. For sure. Everyone, no, I don't think I saw anybody really expecting it. Just kind of dropped, and everyone was like, "Oh shit." For me personally, it's a little unnecessary in my opinion. Like,
Really?
love the movies. Loved the movies. I never saw the TV show or anything. I heard they were all bad. But the movies were consistently good. Had their flaws, but overall all consistently good. Beautiful story, beautiful visuals, excellent writing.
Okay.
But they weren't all that distant. They were pretty recent. Like, adapting it into live action.
Okay, so adapting it into live action, that's a great point. Let's jump over to Chris real quick. Chris, piggybacking off of what Dakota said, adapting it to live action, sir, is this going to fall into Disney's kind of the Disney thing with the live action, or are we going to see animated studios now follow this trend? And is this movie going to hold up to the animated film, right? So
Yeah.
real fast, hold that thought before we go into it. Keep this in mind. What I normally say when it comes to reboots, because I guess ultimately this is a reboot. When it comes to reboots, if it fails, I'm perfectly okay. I have the original, so I'm not going to be stressed out. I can always go back. It doesn't diminish the original by any means necessary. But with that being said, with that information and piggybacking off Dakota, how are your thoughts? How do you feel?
Well, I think that this trend of remaking animated classics is definitely something that's caught on. They're just trying to cash in at this point. I don't mind it because the story is just that good that I don't mind seeing it again. Do I have to see it again? Not really, but I am a huge fan of the series. I love the TV series. I'm all in on all that stuff, So
Yeah.
I'm definitely interested in it. I've never really seen any of the Disney remakes, even though I loved those movies when I was a kid. Just not really into it enough. I might see the new Mufasa one because that's kind of telling a different story, and I'm interested in the story. But with this one, I don't think they can really lose with this one. The story of How to Train Your Dragon is just such a good story, and the first movie, basically they're retelling it for just a different generation. At this point, the kids of today are not going back to watch the first three movies. They're caught up on all their YouTube and everything else that they got going on. So they're not going deep in that one. But yeah, I'm interested in it. I think they did a really good job in casting. I forgot who they cast. They cast somebody really awesome for the dad. And I'm like,
Gerard Butler. Gerard Butler is
the
original dad from the show.
Yeah, I want to see that. But I also, just because I like the show, I like all of his friends and all the other kids and the families and all that stuff. So, I'm really interested. I'm interested to see it. I'm not like freaking out that it's 1-for-1 like the movie. I don't think anybody's that big of a fan of those first movies. Like, this isn't Star Wars.
Right.
This isn't one of those things where we have analyzed the heck out of this movie and it needs to be recreated faithfully. I don't care. Yeah. I don't care. It's a great story. They'll have some different variations on it, I'm sure. They won't be for the better. I'm pretty much forecasting that one. But I'll take it. I'm sure we'll get some great visuals. And, and like Dakota said, I mean, it was done very well the first time. It doesn't have to be done this time, but I get how they want to cash in. And as we all know, Hollywood is very risk averse at this moment. So, will I go see it in the theaters? No, but I will most certainly stream it as soon as it comes to Peacock.
Oh God, Peacock.
Would it be on Peacock or would it be on Paramount? Or would it be on Paramount?
I don't know. I thought this was a Universal thing.
Streamworks.
DreamWorks. So that would be
DreamWorks.
That's like Shrek.
Is that Viacom?
Yeah, so that would be Paramount.
Okay, yeah. Can't wait to see it. Can't wait to see it on Paramount. And
when it comes out to Paramount.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can't wait to see it. Just like I went and saw Transformers 1. But that's just because I want them to keep making Transformers stuff. I support media that I want to see them continue to do.
Transformers.
Take it or leave it.
So bad. Yeah. No, I agree. You want to support. You want to support that type of stuff, the media that you love and the media that you want to see. Yep. But yeah, Transformers. That's a dead property for me now. I saw Transformers 1 or whatever that's called.
Yeah.
The other day with my cousin, we watched it, and it was just
it was okay.
It's a kid movie. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm definitely going to have to go check out the animated film. I think I'm going to watch it to get an idea of what to expect. In this film, so I hope I enjoy it. I hope I really enjoy it.
Watch all 3 of them.
There's 3. Oh, I didn't even know there was 3.
Yeah, they're all really good. It's not like the case where like the sequels get cheaper and cheaper. If anything, the quality just like starts going up. Like visuals, like they get real crazy with those visuals and the animation.
Wow,
it's a beautiful movie.
I didn't even know that. Yeah. So from looking at screenshots of the animated film compared to the live action, Toothless, that's the
dragon,
the dragon, they did a fucking fantastic job with bringing him to life.
Yeah, it's definitely a good real life creation of it because he looks.
It was already 3D. What's real life?
Well, yeah, but they did a good job, I should say, of like rendering him to make him look
into the real world,
like he could fit in a realistic scene.
Sure.
Like they didn't, like, even though they kept all of his proportions the same, he doesn't look like they slapped a cartoon into a he doesn't look too out of place.
Yeah, I agree. So how do y'all feel about this How to Train Your Dragon live action trailer? Are you excited for the movie for when it finally drops? Or could you really care less? Are you upset that they're making this into a film? Join the conversation below. Let us know your thoughts. And yeah, we'll definitely look back into it and carry it over. All right, guys. So another trailer has recently dropped. I kind of hate it. Not gonna lie.
I haven't actually like fully watched this trailer yet.
You haven't?
I only saw the first one.
Oh man, it's garbage.
It should have been fully animated. So, why didn't they fully animate it?
Oh, I don't know.
Because Jack Black and kids always works. That's the formula.
But
it's Jumanji.
Jack Black as a voice actor always works too.
True.
We could have still kept him. Like the Mario movie did excellent with him as Bowser.
Yes. Yeah, great movie.
So we have a comment that says, I don't think people should be mad, but are they excited? I don't know. It looks like the same film that's animated. Minecraft movie will be trash, and that's what he's saying over here. I agree.
After that, yeah.
He continues to say, and he agrees with you, Dakota. Should have been fully animated, no real people.
Though, in all honesty, even if it was fully animated, you could just tell just by like, just from what I saw in the first trailer, you could tell that the writing is terrible. The writing is bare bones because your characters immediately are uninteresting. We're at a point now in media where we can, like, audiences can spot tired, overused tropes a mile away. They're tired of it. They're exhausted. Like, we've got Jack Black as the iconic mentor, famous actor in his place just to have his name in it. He's semi-popular, or he's pretty popular right now from a bunch of movies. You've got the main character, the kid who's clearly the main character, clearly our protagonist. Looks like he's got maybe like personality of like a young leader and just like sensible. And then the rest of the three, Jason Momoa and those two behind him there, these are clearly I don't know why we have a trio of them, a trio of comedic relief.
Right.
We've got young, woke hipster girl.
Oh God.
Who I shouldn't call her woke hipster. I should call her I don't even know what to call her. Just the one line that she had in the first trailer, she's like, "This guy is such a tool bag." I'm like, who says that? Who says that anymore? Who says that? And then like, I mean this in like a really Hollywood, we could have come up with a way better character. We've got the sassy comedic black woman. Like we could have done so much more with that.
So Winona Ryder, is that her name? Is that no
Winona Ryder?
No. God, what was that? She was from. Oh geez. She's in a lot of Steve Carell movies. Whitney reminds me of her. Gosh, not Evan Almighty. She was in Evan Almighty. Hold on, let me pull up her name.
Okay. I mean, I like that Stifler's mom is in it.
Wanda Sykes. Sorry, Wanda Sykes. Wanda Sykes character.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, is she? No. Okay, she's not in it though, right?
She's not in it, but he's saying no. Like it seems like we're
Danielle Brooks is the. I mean, she is kind of that, and she flexes her comedic muscles and dramatic muscles. She was in The Color Purple, the musical. She played Oprah Winfrey's character. She's got dramatic chops, but she also has comedic chops that she flexes on. Orange is the New Black.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah. So that's really where she came to fame, was off of that show. That's what put her in front of everybody. But I cringed when this is giving Red One energy all day. This is Red One.
Oh God,
but just not during Christmas.
So terrible. Yeah.
So you got a bunch of high-profile names, and you slapped them together and just said, "Okay, let's do it." The only reason why I'm like, "Okay, this is different than Red One," is because they're releasing it in April, and I'm like, "Dang, they must really believe in this movie." Because if they didn't believe in it, it would have been coming out in January. Yeah. that lull period where they don't put anything good out.
Sure.
So, but yeah, it's not going to be. We all know it's not going to be good. It's just the next Red One. It's going to be a tax write-off. And you know what? It's actually sad because I really thought we were past this point of making shitty movies for kids. I thought we were to the point where the studios respected its audience enough to make better movies. Because I know I came up with some shitty movies, and they just gave them to us. And like, kids will watch anything, whatever. Fuck it, take Super Mario Brothers, whatever. Kids will watch it.
I love Super Mario.
Minecraft
is shit.
Minecraft though is also, it's a franchise.
I'm sorry, the 90s Mario.
I own the 90s one too. Yeah,
but Minecraft isn't like I hope, because we can't say that we can't like 100% judge. I mean, we can make very educated guesses based off of these two trailers alone, but. So I will say that all of these opinions are based off of very limited knowledge. So for all I know, like, these characters might actually have a whole lot more to them. And, might actually turn out to be interesting and well written. But for now, my sincere hope is that it's not just like bare bones written to the point where it's just written as dumbed down as possible for kids. Because first and foremost, I think above all else, kids aren't that dumb. Kids are actually very, very intelligent. If you put a good thing in front of them,
Sure.
they'll understand it. Like, I don't know why these studios in more recent times too have just like assumed that children are stupid. That they're just like they have a short attention span maybe, but they're not dumb. They're not stupid. And like they can understand a character.
Right.
And also Minecraft itself is decently aged. So the demographic for Minecraft, yeah, there's a huge children audience to it, but there's also an adult audience to it.
Right. I feel like if the Minecraft movie came out 15 years ago, it would be a lot better. In my opinion, I think it would maybe not look as beautiful. Like, don't get me wrong, the animation looks fantastic for this trailer. It's just the way the bee looks right there. Yeah, maybe we couldn't get that animation about 15 years ago, 20 years ago. But like, look at this world. It looks great. I don't know how it's streaming. But yeah, I think it's past its prime. And Dakota's right. I think it should have been fully animated, or what the people are saying in the chat. It should have been fully animated. Yeah,
there's tons of on YouTube. There's tons of like hundreds of thousands of freelance animators that have been making Minecraft animations for years.
Sure. Yeah.
Literally years. And some of them, there's one of my favorites that looks absolutely gorgeous. It's this content creator and animator. They haven't posted in a very long time, but they're an animator called Slamacow, and they have made some of the most gorgeous Minecraft animations that I've ever seen. They're like years and years old, and I think they still hold up like so well.
Okay.
And it's just, I think that this movie could have done so much fully animated. It would have given them so much more freedom to just make something visually striking. There's only so much you can do with human actors on a green screen lot. You got to keep everything steady. You got to keep everything still, because if you start moving around too much, then like the green screen effect loses what little it has to stand on already.
Sure. Yeah. So I'll turn it over to you, the viewer. What are your thoughts? Comment below. Let us know. How are you excited for this Minecraft movie? Are you ready to jump into this world? Do you think it's going to be funny? Do you not think it's going to be funny? Join the conversation right down below. Let us know, and let us know your thoughts. All right, guys. So let's move on to our final topic of the day, and I expect it, but at the same time, I don't expect it, if that makes sense. So according to Deadline, Wicked is flying to 100. Now, when I pulled this up, I should probably check and see where we're at now. But as of 2:00 Eastern time, Wicked has been flying to 120 million opening, in Gladiator 2 conquering a 61 million Friday afternoon box office. So they're calling it Glicked because they're trying to make a Barbenheimer situation of it, which I don't think it's ever going to be that. But Glicked weekend is currently looking like 120 million opening for Universal's Wicked after 48.5 million Friday Plus previews, while Gladiator 2 is shaping up to be a 23.5 million Friday previews, turning into a 61 million opening weekend at 3,573 locations. Generally, midday projections are conservative, so we'll see if there's a rush of ladies' nights tonight and families, and then tomorrow going out to see Wicked. But per Coma Score and Screen Engines and Post Track, 71% women showed up last night. Gladiator 2 is more the date night with a 61% men and a 39% women showing up last night. That's whatever here or there. Let's continue to see statistics. Yeah, big fun. For the month of November, Wicked currently ranks as the 10th biggest opening ever at the domestic box office, while it's also feasibly breaking the opening record for a movie based on a Broadway musical, defeating Stephen Sondheim's Into the Woods, a 31
such a good movie. Such a good movie.
The movie with 1,000 endings, I call it. It's also the third biggest opening of 2024 year to date, ahead of Warner Brothers' Beetlejuice at 111 million. Wicked Part 1 cost before P&A's 150 million. The John M. Chu directed title is booked at 3,888 theaters and is currently expected to post a 30,008 per theater average. Chris, you're good with numbers, so we'll pass that along. What are your thoughts on that, man?
I mean, I think, I don't know. I really didn't expect this. I didn't expect Wicked to really outpace Gladiator 2 so much. Just because how big Gladiator was, the first one, and how many big names are attached to the second movie that really they're tied to success.
Sure.
A lot of these, a few of the guys that are on this movie, like, it's everything they touch is gold at this point. Not Denzel. I know Denzel's had some stinkers, but he's had a solid career. And I'm forgetting the man's name, the Mandalorian.
Pedro Pascal.
There you go. He's done The Last of Us, The Mandalorian. Now he's doing Fantastic Four.
I'm super excited about that. Yeah,
he's on fire. He really is. So it's just like I just expected the Gladiator to really do the most, but we'll see how it turns out through the week. I think this is also a movie that people know, like, there's going to be a big rush, and people really try to stay away from the big rush.
Sure.
When there's a big movie coming out, last thing I want to do is be in a theater where there's no extra seats, there's asshole teenagers, there's ignorant ass people in it. I like the matinees. I like getting in there early on a Sunday where ain't nobody there. So, typically I wait a week or two.
Okay.
But just because of all this, I'm going to try and go on Sunday morning at least to go see it. But it's just unexpected. But obviously I don't have it on. I'm not going to make money on one or the other. I just really expected the Gladiator to be a bigger beast, because we've kind of gotten overkill on the. When was the last time a Wizard of Oz project really hit in the way that Gladiator hit? Gladiator was like a cultural phenomenon. Everybody's seen the movie.
Yeah, but okay, so let's go ahead and before I get my thoughts on this, let's get Dakota in on this conversation. Dakota, have you ever seen Gladiator?
Nope, and I didn't know there was a second movie and that it was coming out this weekend.
Okay, so that
I was gonna say I'm over here with the younger generation. I'm like, I've never seen it.
Okay,
didn't even see any advertisements for it coming out. Was not aware of its existence.
So Chris, you're gonna fall out of your chair here in a moment.
Oh yeah.
I saw the first Gladiator for the first time back in September, because I saw the trailer for this. Now, I've seen bits and pieces. I've seen, Are You Not Entertained? I've seen all the iconic, the thumbs up, thumbs down stuff.
When did it come out?
The Gladiator?
Yeah.
Like 2000?
I was just born.
Yeah, 2000.
2000.
I was just born at that point.
Yep. Wow.
And because of the culture, and at that point we were on DVDs, and it was just like it had staying power, and more people found out. Like, I didn't see it in the theater. I found it at Blockbuster.
Sure.
And I was like,
Yeah.
oh shit,
So
let me take a look at this. Everybody's
movie.
talking about it. They say I need to see it.
So it was a movie that had legs, essentially.
Yeah, it really did.
It seems like a lot of Ridley Scott films are that way. They do really well on home media. But I saw it for the first time in September.
I think it holds up, man.
Yeah, it's great. Clearly, there's a CGI scene where you see that it was just off. So I Googled it, and apparently the guy died while making the movie. So they just CGI'd him in there. The old man.
Who was that?
The old man.
Oh! I didn't know he died during the movie.
Yeah.
Dang, I like him.
Yeah. What was his name? See if I can. Oh, was it Richard Harris? Was it him? He died 2002. No, it wasn't Richard Harris. Oliver Reed. Was it him? I think so. Yes. Oliver Reed died May 2nd, 1999. He played Proximo, if I'm saying his name correctly.
Yeah.
He died halfway through making the movie, so there was a lot of animated scenes with him in there, which that's fantastic that they were able to Paul Walker him in at that time. But I mean, the movie's okay. For me, there's no like. I hear some people say that's one of Russell Crowe's greatest roles of all time, and
it's in the running for number one.
I
think there are a lot of people that would say that's at the top. I'm not saying it's at the top, but I know people would be. And you got to understand, in 2000, movies weren't that gory.
Sure.
We weren't at that point, but that movie had people bleeding out their mouths and the lions, and it was a lot going on there where we just weren't as desensitized to the blood and gore by that point.
Right.
Especially mass audiences. It really, I mean, hey, it was a different world. It was pre 9/11.
Yeah, you're right. It was.
But it really hit because it's like you look at certain things like, man, well, that was a gory film for back then, but now it wouldn't rate. People wouldn't be like, oh my goodness, like see worse than a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
So it's not, sorry.
No, it's fine. So I mean, look,
Grays.
I'm very whatever. It's I don't know why. Normally I love those type of
what
movies.
movie of Russell Crowe would you feel like is right up there with Gladiator?
Oof. Out of Russell Crowe movies?
Yeah, like a contender.
A contender. See,
I mean, we can look up the movies to see.
Okay. So, Master of Commanders, I really enjoyed that. Okay. His Robin Hood 2010, I really enjoyed that. Take a Backseat, I really enjoyed Beautiful Mind, even though that's not in the
I liked it too. Thought it was a good movie.
Yeah. So I mean, his roles are. He has some great roles that I've seen. Excuse me, I didn't mean to do that. Body of Lies is another good work. So Cinderella Man, I really enjoyed him in that.
Is that a boxing movie or what?
Yeah,
what was that?
Yeah, that's a boxing movie.
Okay.
I would say, I don't know. See, that's a hard one. I don't know. I would say Master and Commander was one of his better roles. I think it was a little bit better than Gladiator for me.
Okay.
For me personally. How about you, Dakota? Yep. Sounds about right. Yeah.
Might as well be asking him what his favorite Yul Brynner movie is. Like, I get it.
So that kicks it over to you guys. Are you excited for Gladiator 2? Are you not surprised that Wicked is dominating at the box office right now as my dog comes down the steps? Hey, girl. Are you not surprised that Wicked is dominating at the box office and Gladiator 2 is taking a backseat? Now, we just had some breaking news kind of happen. And I kind of want to look into this real quick. It seems that James Gunn is on Threads. I'm not on Threads, but it seems like he's been talking about the newest trailer for Superman. For Superman. Okay. I'm a Batman guy through and through. Batman is my hero, right? But I am also a Superman fan. I'm also a diehard Superman fan. Batman and Superman are constantly for me fighting as who's the best. So for me, and I tell everybody this, and Chris, I'm sure you've heard me say this before. Dakota, I don't think you've ever heard me say this, but I think Man of Steel is the greatest comic book movie of all time. Hands down for me, Man of Steel is the greatest comic book movie of all time. Henry Cavill. What?
I was gonna say, do I even remember that movie all too well? Actually, yeah, I do. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah. Henry Cavill as Superman, Russell Crowe as Jor-El. Was not Russell Crowe? Who was the father? Who played Pa Kent?
Oh, dang it!
Oh man, I'm seeing his face.
Field of Dreams and shit.
Yes,
man.
yes.
Kevin Costner.
Kevin Costner.
There we go.
As Pa Kent, and Diane Lane as Ma Kent, and Amy Adams as Lois Lane, and that movie. I love that movie. It again, greatest comic book movie of all time. So when James Gunn said, "Hey, I'm coming and rebooting the DCU," I was very skeptical. I've been very skeptical. I'm not looking forward to his iteration of Superman. David Cornsweet is our new Superman, coming out in July. I'm not liking the suit. I don't like that his cape has the S on the back. I don't like that we're taking a step back in time for classic Superman. We're past that. Superman no longer has the trunks in the comic, and now James Gunn is wanting Superman to come back with those trunks. I don't like that. It is what it is. But I still hold reservation, right? I shouldn't judge this film or the suit until I see it in action. But according to Screen Rant that just dropped, according to James Gunn, the first trailer for Superman will reportedly be here soon. Fans have already gotten a look at David Cornsweet and other stars from Superman movies cast when the movie started filming outdoor earlier this year. However, the first official footage from the anticipated DC Universe movie has yet to arrive. The project's director, James Gunn, recently teased that it would not be long before Superman trailer would be released, and a new update has since pinpointed when that should be. Okay, so as I go through, it looks like it's being reported, and if this is correct by Screen Rant, that fans will have to wait a month at the most for the first official trailer of the film that opens the way for all planned movies in James Gunn DCU, according to what he said. December 15th marks the 46th anniversary of Christopher Reeve's Superman, the movie. So we could see a trailer then, he said, or we could possibly see a trailer being played before the latest entry in the Lion King franchise, Mufasa, which is
I'll take
very
that.
interesting. It's very interesting. Are we? I mean, how do you guys feel about this? I mean, it's the 22nd, so it's. Let's just say it's a little. I know. In 2 days, we'll be a month away. So we'll just say a month away. Right? Oh, no. When I say the 15th,
I don't know.
December 15th. Okay, so we're
Less than a month away.
Yeah, less than a month away. Dakota, are you a Superman fan? Are you excited for this? Have you seen what David Cornsweet looks like as Superman?
I literally just looked it up.
Okay.
I just looked it up just now, just so I could see, because there is like, the suit is very vibrant. I will say it's very bright, like very lightly colored, as opposed to Man of Steel, where it's like very darkly colored. It's more reminiscent of, you know what it looks like. It looks like the suit from the My Adventures with Superman animated series
on Max. Yeah.
So now, it looks like that suit, but it's very. It's very
enjoyed. Nice. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was like, I don't personally hate the suit. It might look a little cheesy, but I guess it just depends on how it appears in camera. Sure. This is like some like cell phone camera from like way off in the distance.
Yeah. I like My Adventures of Superman. I like that cartoon. I think that suit works well because it's a cartoon.
Yeah, it's very bright.
I'm terrified to see how this suit works in the real world. Chris, what are your thoughts, man?
I mean, the suit looks okay, I guess. It's a little baggy on him. I'm not a huge fan of that. Whatever. I like my Superman to be ripped. I don't need them to go down to a realistic, whatever physique.
Sure.
But I mean, the suit looks fine. It's just, I don't think there's been a better start to a comic book universe than what the DCAU offered with was it Justice League War? Was it War? I think it was War. I don't think. I mean, because there were no. Yes, there were no individual origin stories. We knew all the characters already.
Sure.
You just start with Darkseid trying to invade, and all the characters coming together. The only origin you had in there was Cyborg, but that's it.
Yeah.
Hal Jordan was already Green Lantern. Barry was already doing what he was doing. Superman, Wonder Woman she was still just acclimating to U.S. life and being a diplomat. And they all kind of came together to fight this force. And it's just like, let's just do that.
Yeah.
I don't need a Superman movie by itself before we get everybody else together.
Well, that's
the Marvel formula. You want to do that? Fine, but you're never going to be Marvel.
Right.
So just do your own thing because the DCAU showed us how to do it.
Well, now it's actually a great time to kind of do the Marvel thing, because I think, like, especially in recent times, people are kind of losing faith in Marvel a little bit. Oof. Agatha brought back a little bit, but recently Marvel hasn't been doing super hot.
You told me earlier that you have actually fallen off Marvel, right? You haven't seen past Infinity War.
Yeah, no, I didn't see Endgame. I kept up a little bit with like the series and like what's been going on. Just like plot points, but I didn't watch Endgame mainly because I didn't see the most recent Guardians at that point. I didn't see the most recent Ant-Man at that point, which I heard was kind of like
terrible.
What was kind of like necessary to understand what was the plot points in Endgame.
Sure.
There was like things that happened in a few movies that I hadn't seen that were important to the plot of Endgame. So I was like, oh, they were on Netflix at the time. So I was like, oh, I'll watch them and then I'll watch Endgame. And then Disney Plus came out and then took all those movies away from me. So I was like, okay, whatever. I didn't have Disney Plus. So it's like, well,
the good news is TBS and TNT play them almost every weekend now.
Yeah.
They play. Well, I don't know about the other movies, but they definitely play Endgame and Infinity War a lot. It's part of their rotation.
Sure.
But man, Endgame was.
It was, yeah. Endgame
But
was
that
good.
what's her name? Is that South Park did an episode about her? Is it Kathleen Kennedy? Is that the lady over at Disney?
Kathleen
Yes,
Kennedy. Yes,
yes.
she is.
That's the make it woman, make it whoever it is, make her a woman
Make
and
it
make her
woke.
gay.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
Make her a woman or make her gay.
yeah, like oh yeah, we're doing this movie. All right, whatever. Make it a woman and make her gay. And it's just like, you know, and Don, you know, this was a conversation really that you know, controversy that we were aware of when it came to How to Train Your Dragon, but that is really started on the Disney side of things, where just like they're going overboard on all the diversity stuff. It's like, yo, man, like I don't need you to race swap this character, bro. Like, just give me the character I know and love, and I'm cool with it. Like, I got Sam Wilson. I'm straight.
Yeah.
You don't got to make Wonder Man black. I don't give a fuck. Like, who cares
Yeah.
about Wonder Man?
Yeah.
He's another minor character. That's like making Star-Lord black. We don't need that. Nobody knows him. And even if they did know him, it'd still be like, why?
Yeah.
So it's just like, you know, that's why I myself have slowed down on Marvel.
See, I don't even want to get into it
even
with Kathleen Kennedy because Steven Spielberg calls her the greatest producer of all time, and maybe that is maybe that's true, sure, but running a studio, being a president of a studio, that she should not be running Lucasfilm. She needs to you know, we all thought what was it was going to be her swan song. Oh, I'm drawing a blank.
Was it a Star Wars movie?
It was either going to be episode 9, 7, 8. Yeah, episode 9 was supposed to be her swan song, right? Well, that was the rumor that episode 9 was going to be. My dog's staring at me.
I'm not even caught up on the Star Wars movies either.
Look, I am a diehard Star Wars. I love Star Wars. I got fucking Yoda behind me, watching over me, right?
Respect.
So
the last one I saw was the one wherever what's her face hit the hyperdrive into the other ship.
Okay, so The Force Awakens.
I was like, oh,
okay. I mean, that was a solid movie.
Yes, it was
pretty solid movie. Yeah.
Force Awakens was definitely solid. I even enjoyed Solo. I even enjoyed Rogue One. I will even go as far as saying I enjoyed The Last Jedi to a certain extent. Rian Johnson, he's very particular in his filmmaking, and it has to be a very particular fan to understand his humor. So, I mean, I get it. I enjoyed it because it was a Star Wars film. I hated it for a lot of reasons. Yeah. Same thing with this Rise of Skywalker. But after that, a lot of the content coming out of Disney for Star Wars has been trash, has been absolutely trash.
Oh, the Acolyte just came out, and that was awful. Heard everyone hated that.
I didn't even after Ahsoka, I didn't even bother watching any. I haven't even bothered watching any Star Wars content.
Oh, they messed up Ahsoka?
They messed up Ahsoka.
What? I love it.
I didn't think they messed up Ahsoka, man. Come on,
I didn't watch the series.
It was Ahsoka.
I watched the animated series. Love it.
It had Ezra Bridger in there, and
it was so
brought back Thrawn, and I don't know.
Even I can't believe I'm saying this, and I have him sitting right there behind me in a poster. Even Obi-Wan.
Yeah, that was kind of
that good.
No, it wasn't that good. No.
You know, I enjoyed it for the fact that Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor came back along with Liam Neeson for that 3 little second piece or whatever.
Yeah.
And Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru from episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. Everybody came back from the prequels. Excuse me.
The
Even Jar Jar
swordplay
Binks?
come back.
Fuck Jar Jar Binks.
The Disney swordplay fucked it up as well.
Yeah.
I like the over choreographed sword fights. I don't like just swinging this.
Yeah.
I want choreographed. Like, you know what you're doing. You trained your whole life to do this.
Yep.
Swinging it around is not how you fight.
No, it's not. But I mean it is what it is. I don't even remember how we got on this topic or where we were going. Kathleen Kennedy. She just needs to step down from Disney and
why Marvel has.
Yeah. Look, I am very. James Gunn. He can either be very hit or miss for me. I loved Guardians of the Galaxy 1, 2, and 3. Fantastic. But I was not a fan of Peacemaker. I did not find it funny. Yeah, that could be either John Cena. I just didn't. He said his little. It didn't hit for me. But it is what it is.
I mean, he was so good. He's being brought over into the
David Zaslav and James Gunn. Yeah, were hired. And,
Zaslav is the worst thing that ever happened to Warner Brothers. The worst thing. Yeah. I think if not for him, I mean, under David Zaslav, we would never get Game of Thrones.
Sure.
I mean, I know they canceled some projects as soon as he showed up.
They did. No, I'm actually, you know what? I've actually liked a lot of his work of what a lot of stuff that he's done, because if it doesn't fit, if it doesn't work on paper, he's been throwing it out, the projects out. And I kind of like that. I kind of like that attitude. Let's make sure we're making quality work versus just throwing this out there to have content. And excuse me. I don't know why I think it's because I'm talking so much. That's why
it's all good.
If the projects aren't working or if they aren't looking well,
It's nuts.
Oh, that's so fucking funny.
That's cool.
Oh, sorry, that caught me off guard. So I mean, I have to agree. I really enjoy what he's doing, and I'm actually really excited to see what he does with the Harry Potter series that's coming out. So I'm excited. But all right, friends, that is we're officially at the 1 hour mark here on VHS Movie Talk for You, the movie fan. I'm Dom Toyota, and let's go ahead and throw it out to Chris. Chris, where can people find you on social media?
Oh, okay. Well, I guess we'll just go with the Men Like Us podcast. Men Like Us on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Really, my latest content is on TikTok. So if you just want to hear me give my thoughts and opinions on a whole bunch of different things, including, what my platform is centered around, then go over to TikTok, Men Like Us podcast. Can't miss it.
All right, perfect. And Dakota, where can everybody find you on the lack of social media that you have?
So what you want to do is you're going to go into your bathroom. Okay. You're going to bring a candle with you. You're going to turn off the lights. Here, let me just get nice and close.
Okay, hold on.
There you go. There you go. Hi. Yes. Hi. So you're gonna turn. you gotta say my name in the mirror 3 times. I'll show up. I'll be there.
Promise?
Yes. But listen. You gotta give me something. Okay. You gotta give me something in return.
Okay.
All right. I'll let you choose.
You'll let me what?
I'll let you choose. You choose. You gotta offer me something.
Oh, I love it. All right, y'all. And you know where you can find me, Dom Chayota, at every other platform. That concludes today's show. He's fucking walking away. That concludes today's episode of VHS Movie Talk. Guys, thank you for tuning in. I'm glad to be back and broadcasting to y'all. Hopefully we can get back on a routine and start bringing the filthy and bringing the comments and content for you. Anyway, like always, kids, Wookie for